Hello, EOers of Europe. My name is Andreas Constantinou. I'm regional chair for Europe and EO Greece member for 10 years. Here for you with another update on what's been happening in Europe. Today I have with me a friend and colleague in the Europe regional leadership, Eyal, who is an area director for Europe. Hey, Eyal.
Hello. What amazing pronunciation of my name. That's impressive.
I was practicing all morning.
That shows.
So we're here because I wanted you to talk to us about what does it mean to be an area director. So in Europe Regional Council, we have 4 area directors responsible for different chapters. So you've been in that role for your second year now. Tell us a little bit about you and what that role means.
So I'm a proud member of EO Israel. And what happened once I stepped into the regional leadership is that my perspective of what EO really is shifted in a way. As an area director, I support the presidents of 6 different chapters within Europe. Last year as area director, I did primarily focus on the smaller chapters, and this year I stepped into working with the presidents of the larger chapters. And even that change shifts my perspective. So it feels like every new step that I take within the path of leadership, my perspective shifts. Because what I knew before was what it's like to lead the Israeli chapter, which is a relatively new and small chapter, and that perspective changes over time. As area director, my goal is to help presidents with thinking about their presidency, looking at their board leadership, looking at their chapters and their different aspects of how to lead their chapters, be a sounding board for any ideas that they have, any desires that they have to create inside of their chapters, but also help them set very clear goals on where it is that they want to go and help kindly but definitively hold them accountable to those goals that they've created for themselves.
And what's the hardest part of that journey?
I'm pausing because the word hard almost doesn't seem to fit the emotions and feelings that I have around this. There are a lot of complicated things, but because of the type of relationship that we have inside of the region, it doesn't feel hard. So I just finished a coaching call with one of the presidents, and we dealt with some serious matters inside of their chapter. And I feel so honored and privileged to be let into what is happening there so I can help with perspective, with thinking about it. So it could be seen as hard because the toughest cases come to us. So when they have a lot of members that they know are about to leave the chapter, or when they have growth issues, or when they can't recruit new members for their board. All of this comes to area directors for consultation, for coaching, for sparring partners around that topic. But it doesn't feel hard. Complicated, interesting, but not hard.
And what was a rewarding moment in your role?
So one of the most rewarding things that happened is that when I suddenly discover something amazing has happened inside of one of the chapters, and I didn't even know that it was happening. It feels like we're planting seeds. We don't show up daily to water those seeds, but suddenly they blow up and they bloom as something. And this was, by the way, a huge learning moment for me also in my business. Now I'm happy when I'm pleasantly surprised by something that is happening in my business. In the past, I felt like I had to know every aspect. But from this leadership experience inside of EO, I'm seeing it's amazing when we plant the seeds, water them, and then they just bloom. So if it's a huge recruitment event that I was very loosely involved in, and hundreds of people show up and convert into happy members, that's amazing. Or when one of the most rewarding moments, you're asking about that, was when I discovered that a few of the presidents inside of my area started collaborating and have been working together on supporting each other without my involvement. That's huge. That's huge.
And can you recall a moment where your experience in the regional position in Europe changed how you think and your attitude in work or life?
Yeah. So what I shared about happily not knowing everything that is going on in my own business was a big one. But also, I remember a situation where suddenly I'm reflecting and I see how much I want to control things. So that's just happened in our conversation right now. But I noticed that once I heard of another regional council member who's been in touch with one of my presidents, one of the presidents that I support. Notice that? One of my presidents, how territorial I am, but one of the presidents that I support. And And I was like, so why didn't you tell me that you're working with them on that project? I'm not involved at all. But that was a huge learning moment. I don't have to be involved for great things to happen. I do not need to be a bottleneck. It's okay if I learn about things as they progress. And I've definitely taken that into the business as well.
And I can share that as well. The path of leadership, including this role as regional chair, it's been the greatest learning contribution from all of my own EO experiences to my own journey.
How so?
Eyal, thank you.
I want to hear. How? Tell me.
Tune in for the next episode.
That's good. It's a good teaser.
All right. Take care. Eyal, thank you for sharing your story. And everyone will be back in a couple of weeks or so with another update. Take care.
Thank you, Andreas. Bye.